Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games, back with another cool pinball video for you this evening. This is a very old solid-state game. This is Stern's Stingray, which came out in December of 1977. A long time ago. We've been working on this, and we have several videos that we have uploaded about how we repaired this thing. Whenever we bought this off of a gentleman who had several of them actually in a storage building, along with some other games. And this is kind of the game that, the type of game that a lot of people don't want to buy and fix up, because the thing was in kind of rough shape, and it's not a super desirable title where everybody's looking for a Stingray. But it's also the type of game that once you do get it fixed up, it's fun to play. I mean, you fix this up and you have something nobody else has, because nobody else takes the trouble to fix it up. So here it is. We fixed it up and it's up and running, and very fun. So we'll play it here in a minute and show it off. But first we'll look around the outside of it. Like I said, this came out in December of 1977, and Stern Electronics had bought the Stern family had actually bought the Chicago Coin arcade company, who were making pinball machines at the time, and I believe that all went down in December of '76. So this is 1 year, 12 short months after they had bought Chicago Coin, and this is what they came up with once they were kind of on their own. I think they did about 4 EM pinball machines first, and you got to remember, this is right around that time whenever the companies were switching from electromechanical pinball machines to solid-state pinball machines. So they did about 4 EMs first. One of those EMs was called Pinball. It was a Stern Pinball. That was the name of the game. Whenever they take over in December of '76, the first game that they do, Chicago Coin was already making. It was already completely designed and being produced. They just changed the names to say Stern on the machine and kept putting them out there, and then they started designing more. I don't know if they probably had more in the can too that Chicago Coin had already designed. But so Stern does about 4 games. One of them is called Pinball. They make their first solid state game that same game. So there's an electromechanical version of Stern Pinball, and there is a solid state version of Stern Pinball, and that's kind of similar to what the other companies did. Williams did that with Hot Tip. There was an EM Hot Tip and a solid state Hot Tip, I believe. And then Bally did it with 2 or 3 games. So Bally had an electromechanical Matahari and a solid state Matahari and a couple other games. So Stern did their pinball solid state game, and then they did this one. This was their first game that was only available as a solid state. Stern Stingray. So it was December 1977. Now, if you watch the previous videos that we did where we fixed it, you may have noticed, and I think we mentioned, the board sets in these are exactly the same. They're the exact same design, at least, as the Bally board sets. So Bally had created a solid-state system, and Stern just ripped them off. I don't think they got permission either. I think they just kind of knew how it was going to go. They ripped them off, and then from what I understand, paid Bally a fee for every game that they sold, because they were using a copy of the Bally board sets. And the way that they got Bally to go along with that, from what I understand, is that they explained to Bally that if the Stern boards were exactly like the Bally boards, and if they were paying Bally a licensing fee or a penalty or whatever for using them, that the operators would get used to working on the Bally and Stern games, and that would really screw up Williams, right? So that was kind of their plan, from what I understand. I wasn't around whenever all that happened, but that's my understanding of it, at least. So if that is true, that's pretty funny. Whenever we got this, like I said, it was in a storage building. It was in pretty rough shape. We've got another complete one and another one where we just have the head that's broken. This one we were able to salvage. The thing is up and running and doing great. And as you can see, it looks pretty good too. Now, it is not in perfect shape. Let me show you a couple things, what I'm talking about. You can see how the cabinet was starting to deteriorate a little bit. It was stored on its end, and so the paint was starting to flake away. You can also see how yellowed all of the paint is. So we have carefully cleaned it as best we can, but it definitely has its issues. The front is probably the worst. Since it was stored on its back with this part sticking up, who knows how long it was like that, and it was in a rented storage building, so it wasn't in temperature controlled environment for at least 10 or 15 years. So on this top here, the paint has started to flake away pretty severely. We've cleaned it up as best we can, but it's definitely showing its age, which again is 42 years and some change. So this side's in maybe a little bit better condition. So one thing that we've done, that we do on a lot of these, is whenever you get these, they always have the frame is all beat up, because that's the part that sticks out the most, and it hits other games, and whenever you move it, it hits things, and so these frames are always really beat up. And it was this off-white color that everything else is painted. So what we've done in the past is, if you take one of the kind of complementary colors from the cabinet art and paint the frame that color, it usually looks pretty nice. So as you can see on the side art, the stencils are red and blue, and so we've got a blue that's a pretty nice match to the original blue, and it looks pretty nice. It kind of just gives you a nice fresh looking frame around the back glass. You could also do white if you wanted, and it'd probably look pretty nice, but it might clash with the off-white that the rest of the cabinet is. So this thing has a pretty nice back glass. I don't know who the artist was, but looks pretty good. I don't know if they had their Chicago coin artist now working at Stern, or what the deal was. Also, the Playfield has some pretty nice art on it. So we'll go over all that. Let me see here. Let me turn off the lights so you can see the back glass a little better. You can see what lights up. It kind of gives it a underwater look even a little better with the lights off, because it just the fish are illuminated, and the diver, of course. So you've got, I guess there's two divers, but who the hell cares about him, right? So you've got the name, of course, up at the top. You have the 4 score displays. Apparently there was a 2-player version of this with a slightly different back glass, and there is a dip switch that you can change on the MPU to make it a 2-player version. Whenever we got this one, the MPU had that dip switch flipped, so I don't know if somebody just didn't know or what. And there were a couple of the displays missing, but the back glass wasn't the 2-player one, so I don't know what kind of little trick they were trying to play there. But you've got these cutesy looking little fish. It looks a little more blown out in the video than it does in real life. Let me see if I can darken it up a little bit. Make it look a little more like how it really looks. Let's see here. Yeah, that's about how it really looks. You can see the color a little better. That's about what it looks like to my naked eye. And you can see that some of this art has flaked away, unfortunately. So we clear coated the back of it, so hopefully it won't get any worse. But the damage has been done. It's really cool seeing these. I really like these old Sterns, because they didn't really know what they were doing yet, and they were kind of making it up as they went along. So the games are kind of hit or miss, but they almost have like a, you can see the hustle in it, if you know what I mean by that. Like, you can see where they were trying to come up with something that would make money and be a game that people would like. So I just like how it's kind of amateur almost, right? I'm not saying the art's amateur, though. Whoever the artist was pretty good. So this lady here with her hair everywhere. And she has a red bikini, but most of it has faded away. And her red flippers. And so you can see the Playfield is a little dark. It's just how it was designed. You can't see anything in the middle very well. Up at the top, it has these kind of generic arch plastics that they put on all of their games for a little while. Let me turn the lights back on. I'll show you more of the stuff on the playfield. Okay, so you have your bonus down here at the bottom that has clearly been arranged around the body of the Stingray. So you can tell that they were intent on calling this a Stingray right from the beginning. And then some of the scoring is little bubbles, you know, it's an underwater scene. You've got more cute fish all over the place. Right? And then the playfield's dominated by this diver chick with her old school scuba gear on. And she has a harpoon, or I guess that's what you would call that, in her hand. Scuba gear on the back. Her weight belt's a little loose. And then you got some dude over here too. Shark's gonna get his ass. Just stuff like that. Like, think about that. Some guy was drawing this, whoever the artist is. He's drawing in the girl, and then he's like, well, I'll put a guy in too, you know. And then he puts a shark in the background around the guy. And up here at the top, you've got this almost kind of nautical wheel, or that's exactly what it is, like a steering wheel off of a ship. Lots of bubbles, lots of fish. You got a octopus over here. Pretty cool. So the layout is, you know, how many different ways can you do the late 70s layout? It's kind of just how it is, you know. So you got a nice spinner shot over there on the left, back up to the top, and then you have this Stingray Lane over here where you fall down and you hit the 5 rollovers to get 500 points, and if that's lit, you get 10 times the value. There is a weird thing on this game where, for whatever reason, if both of these are lit up, it lights up these. So instead of having the CPU turn those on, they're lit in series from these two. It's just wired that way on the schematics. I don't know why it's like that. And then the whole game kind of revolves around this kick out here in the front, in the middle. The ball can go in from the front, and then it can also go in from the back, because there's two, you know, the spot between the posts on each side. So, and you get a lot of wear there. You can see we touched it up a little bit, but it is what it is, people. But this plastic gets broke a lot on Stingray. So it's been my experience, the way to keep it from getting broke is to leave it loose. So if it's loose like that, you'll see while we play it here in a minute, it gets knocked around and stuff by the ball, and it makes you think, oh God, they're going to break that thing. But if you tighten it up too much, that's when you break it, because the ball hits it and it doesn't give any. And then it's got Stern's just plain old S drop targets in it. These drop targets are a little, I don't know what to say. Sometimes they don't drop, and it's because of the way they're designed. It doesn't fall perfectly straight each time. So if it's a little crooked when it goes down, it'll hang. It's just a slightly different design. Back then, all of the pinball companies had all kinds of patents on all kinds of things. Their flippers were patented. Their drop target assemblies were patented. Their kicker assemblies were patented. Their pop bumpers were patented. And so they had to kind of work around each other and come up with new ways to do things. The jukebox companies kind of did the same thing. But with that said, Stern did rip off Bally on the board sets. I don't know if they had permission ahead of time or if they just went for it. Little seahorse there. Okay, so let's read the instructions, because every game's more fun if you read the instructions. Instructions. 1. Ball kick out holes spot the lit value. Alright, so there's 2 of them. So up here at this top one, you have 5,000 lights the spinner. You get 5,000 points, and it lights the spinner and the Stingray Lane. So the Stingray Lane is over here, 10 times the value. If that lights up, all of those little rollover buttons that are usually worth 100 are now worth 1,000. And the spinner is either worth 100 or 1,000 if it's lit up. So if I were to land in that now, that's what I would get. But that changes around, and it can be 5,000, or it can be lights the double bonus and gives you 5,000, or 55,000. 5,000, or 55,000, or 5,000, and it lights the extra ball lane. So the extra ball is just the end lanes. Pretty easy to get if that's lit up. And then what was the other one? Oh, lights double bonus. So of course you have your double bonus availability down here. And so your bonus ladder goes up to 100,000. All right, so the one down here kind of does the same thing. You see that it has the same lights, just in a different place. 55,000, 5,000, 5,000 lights the extra ball lane, 5,000 lights the double bonus, and 5,000 lights the spinner and the Stingray Lane. So that's what's going to happen if you land in the kick-out hole. 5 targets down the first time scores 10,000. The second time lights the special lane light. Okay, so if you drop, each drop target scores 1,000, and if you drop all 5 of them, it lights the 10,000 light, which means each target wait, it says 5 targets down first time scores 10,000. So I guess whenever you drop them, you get 10,000 points. And then the second time you do it, it lights up the special lanes, which are the out lanes. So when lit, the special and advanced bonus. The special on this machine we've set to a free ball. Now you can set it free ball or free game or points. And on this particular game, it even had an option for setting it for free ball and a free game. But since it's usually a game like this is going to end up in somebody's house on free play, it's not really all that fun to win a free game whenever it's on free play, right? But it is kind of fun to win an extra ball because then you can get a higher score. We've got it set on 3 ball, by the way. Advanced bonus rollover button. Advanced bonus to possible 100,000. So it's that one there. I think it's the only one. You also have like this switch up here will do it as well. And I believe that's it. Just those 2 ways. Extra ball lane scores 1 extra ball when lit. Special lane scores 1. It says replay, but I've got it set where it scores 1 extra ball as well. It says title disqualifies ball and play only. This is the original card from the factory. That should say tilt. Tilt disqualifies ball and play only. Matching last 2 numbers of scored to numbers on Backglass at end of game scores 1 replay, maximum 1 extra ball per ball in play. Alright, so there you go. Cool old school design. I really like the theme and the look of it. Now, if you're one of those people that's a stickler for everything looking brand new, you're not going to like this one. But if you're one of those people who wants something that looks old and cool and still works and plays good, this is your machine, right? So we're not necessarily trying to sell it to you. By the time this video goes up, we probably won't even have it anymore. But we like to kind of preserve the history of them and show everybody what they were all about, how they were set up, and what they looked like. At least in 2020 is when we're filming this. So as of 42 years old, this is what this thing looked like. Okay, so I'll set up the tripod and we'll play it a little bit. I should mention this thing is a very early Stern game, so it doesn't have electronic sounds. It still has chimes, and it has a 4-chime box in it. So I'll set up the tripod and let's play it a little bit. Would you look at that, people? Isn't it one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen? Nothing like a good pinball play video. Of course, I'm not all that good at it, so maybe nothing like a bad pinball play video. But we're going to try. So, what should be our philosophy on playing this one? We read the instructions. Let's see. It looks like, what am I going to go for? So how do you light the extra ball lane? I think if you get the drop targets down twice, it lights the extra ball lane. And then you can also light the extra ball lane by landing in the saucers All right, well, let's try it a little bit. Like I said, it has chimes. They had 4 chimes on the Stern games, where the Bally ones had 3 chimes. If you look on some of our videos where we were repairing this thing, I showed that chime box. It almost looks homemade. Okay, so here we go. That's why they needed 4 chimes, so they could play that. Now, on the pop bumpers, this one is not burnt out. It goes back and forth. So either these 2 are on or that one is on. And I don't think they're ever all 3 on. So you just heard the knocker. See how I hit the drops and they didn't fall? You just heard the knocker. The reason you... Thing's got some action. See the 2 lights on the sides of the... All right, I got to talk about one thing at a time. Okay, so there's 2 lights, one here and one here, that, like I said, are wired in series to these, so they're dimmer. I probably need to put like a brighter bulb in them because they're splitting. All the bulbs run off 6 volts, but those are only getting about 3 volts because there's 2 of them wired in series. It's just a weird way to wire it up. And then the drop targets, sometimes if you hit them, they don't fall. They just kind of... I think Stern was kind of in the middle of designing good drop targets. Now, their later drop targets, their memory targets, were awesome. Also, the chimes, you cannot turn the volume of the chimes up, of course. So it is what it is. This is just our first game to get us to figure out how the flippers work. I actually love the chimes. I just like the way they sound. Okay, so we got 161,000 points just kind of screwing around. Whoa! Good Lord Almighty. Okay, so we got 161,000 points just kind of screwing around. Let's get at it again. Okay, so you heard the knocker, right? So I've got this thing set on free play, and the poor man's free play. The easy free play is you just set the first replay score really low. So I've got it set at 11,000. So as soon as you score 11,000 points, you get an extra game or an extra credit, which keeps it on free play because every time you play it, you get an extra credit. Ooh. Oh, look, it's alternating the extra ball lane. I can't roll it far enough up the in lane. Sometimes you can do that and go up the in lane backwards. But on this one, it doesn't really have the... I guess it might work if you had enough ball speed. Oh, I was robbed. I'm not hitting anything. All those buttons worked, right? When I play these, I'm not really trying to sell it to you. I'm just trying to test it to make sure it's ready for whoever buys it. So I'm looking for stuff that doesn't work quite right. Ooh. So why did you hear? It's because I got the highest score of all time. 320,740 points. Which is pretty good, except I just put a new battery in it. Beat up them banks. Ooh, we got some colorful. We got a colorful playfield right now. Lots of lights on. Come on, did you see that? Oh, come on. I couldn't do that again if I tried. This is a pretty fun playing game, really. Except for that crap. Here I am talking it up. And it does me like that. Look, it's going to do it again. Ooh. A little popcorn action there. Score kind of sucks. So the knocker you heard that time was because I matched. So I got my last score is 30 points, and then the match number was 30. All that, and I only had 10,000 points bonus. That was a long ball. See how you can go in that center hole from the back as well? That's pretty cool. It will not let me get that extra ball, people. You can see how that middle plastic gets broke a lot. Okay. We're starting to get the hang of it here. Starting to get the hang of it. It won't be long now. Starting to get the hang of it. Is this thing slanted? I don't think it is. See, that fell straight, perfectly straight down that time. Like, I can't argue that the ball falls straight here, that it falls this way, and that it falls this way. You know, I mean, it can't be slanted 3 different ways. Oh, no special one lit. If my special was lit about the special one lit, think of the points I could have made. Or I guess I would have got an extra ball. Oh, it was too fast for me. I should also mention I've got the back legs way up on this thing because I like the Playfield having more slope on it. But whenever you do that, games with saucers don't play quite the same because the ball doesn't land in the saucer as easily if the Playfield's sloped more. Every little bit extra you put on the slope makes the ball fall out of the saucer a little easier. You'll also notice if you look really close, you may not be able to see it with the darkness, but when the ball is launched from one of the saucers, the other saucer kicks too because they're tied together. They're basically they're both the exact same thing with the same lights, just in different places. Look at that. Oh, look at that beautiful extra ball when lit light that I couldn't get. Ooh, I got it, finally. This may be the greatest game of all time. If I could hit anything. I think I got about 10 points there. So I got extra ball when lit twice that time. Of course, you can only get one per ball. That's what we need, some pop bumper action. I didn't really score that much. Ball 4. Oh. All right, we're going to play one more game, people, and let's see if I can break my world record. Is that the William Tell Overture? Have I asked that yet? I think that's what that is. Oh! Damn. It's easy to get a bad bounce on that one. They gave me the ball back, though. They must have felt sorry for me. Oh, they won't that time. All right, we're going to do one more. That one wasn't good enough. Yeah. Nice little assist from the right flipper. Ooh, about lost it. This is more like it here. This is the game I was thinking I was going to play when I said one more game. Didn't get that extra ball though. All right, so I got 171,000 points that time. That's pretty good. I don't even know how I pulled that off. I must have landed in the 55,000 hole. That's light stubble bonus. That's good. So we got our double bonus. Boy, that was rock steady, wasn't it? Spinner's pretty cool. Oh, damn, it's light stubble bonus again. That's useless. Nice spinner shot. Come on, move. There we go. All right. The kickers alternate the lane that is lit for extra ball. Come on, come on. All right. Oh, missed it. Come on, come on. Land in there. Or the other one. There we go. Extra ball. It's got a cool little shot I'm making around the pop bumpers. Back, all the way back up to the top. Of course, you can go that way, but you can go just to the left or the right of the pop bumpers, right back up to the saucer. Like that. On the left side, though, really, it's pretty simple to make that spinner shot, so that would be the shot to try on that side. Oh. Okay. All right, so that was ball 2. But we get to play ball 2 again, right? Because I got an extra ball. And we're at 302,000. Yeah, I already got the extra ball lit. It might happen, folks. It might happen. Oh. I didn't get the extra ball, and I'm only at 347,000. I'm on the last ball. I love the art on this thing, though. I think they did a great job on the art. And as you can see, it plays fun, too. It's a cool theme. I'm a sucker for these generic themes like this. Yeah, you know what that means? Means I broke my world record. Now, I know it's just my personal record, but This is the only place in the world I've played this game, and I got 434,000. That's a new world record for me. So there you go, people. That is Stern's 1977, December 77, just in time for Christmas, 1977 Stingray pinball machine. I like it a lot. If you want to get into the weirder games, check out Stern's early solid state stuff. So from here till about 82, they had some strange stuff. Some of them were pretty cool. This is not the same Stern that is around now making pinballs. It's the same family. It's the same guy, Gary Stern, but it's not. This is not the same company. This company went bankrupt in like 83 or something like that, 84 or something. And then Mr. Stern went on and started a company where he made pinball kits. So they made pinball kits where you would put a new backglass in a machine, new ROMs in it, and a new Playfield in it, and turn it into a new game, which is pretty wild. Nobody's ever really attempted that before. I guess one or two companies have, but I think back in World War I they did that, actually. I think, or was it World War II? Would have been World War II. I think in World War II they tried that for a little while. So he did that, and then after he left that, that I think also went bankrupt. Poor Mr. Stern. He went to which was the first one? It would have been Data East. He went and he became the main guy at Data East Pinball, and then Data East Pinball turned into Sega Pinball. Was bought out by Sega. Have I got that right? I think so. And then Sega went out of business. Do you see a recurring theme here? And when they went out of business, he bought all of their assets, I believe. I think I got that all right. And he turned it into the modern Stern Pinball. So the gentleman that is running Stern Pinball now, Mr. Gary Stern, was the guy that was running Stern Pinball way back then. And he was also the guy that was running Stern video games. So like Berserk and Frenzy and stuff like that. And if you like some of the weirder Stern games like Anteater or Turtles, there was a Stern Turtles way back in the day, or Lost Tomb. What's some other ones? Scramble, Super Cobra. Those are all Stern titles, and Mr. Stern still owns all of those. So he would still own the rights to this pinball machine. Whenever the company went out of business, he retained all the IP rights or bought them back or something like that. So just recently, I'm not a newer pinball expert, obviously. If I can enjoy these old ones, I don't know much about the new ones, but just recently they made a Beatles pinball machine, Stern made, and they reused one of the Playfields from one of these early Stern games because he still owned all of the. He could do that, right? So they recycled. It's kind of like a 60s style Beatles pinball machine, and they recycled an old Playfield so that they didn't have to design one and just put new artwork and stuff on it and made new software because it was a ancient. So anyway, that is Stern Stingray. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing it, and it's a pretty fun game. It gives me the seal of approval. So give me the seal of approval and give me a thumbs up by clicking it down below the video. Whenever you click that, it spreads us all around YouTube. People say, oh man, they're upvoting and downvoting the hell out of this video. It must be cool. And YouTube spreads it all around. So leave your comments below. Let us know what you think about it. Make sure to subscribe to us here if you haven't yet. And did you know that we have a second channel now? We do. My brother Donnie has started a channel. So this channel is ran by Ronnie and Joey. My brother Donnie runs his own channel called, are you ready for this? It's called My Brother Donnie. So go search for My Brother Donnie here on YouTube. I'm over there right now with him. We have bought an old mobile home that we are trying to fix up, and the thing is tore all to crap. It's kind of hilarious, the horrible situation we found ourselves in, but we're trying to fix it up just like we fix up these old pinball machines. Donnie's a little bit wilder than I am. So make sure you subscribe to that if you get the chance. And then we've also been telling people, thank you to all of the people that have been clicking our Amazon link. That is so cool of y'all. We know you don't have to do that. We know it's a big pain to click that link. That's all there is to it. You just have to click the link. But still, it's you thought of us, and we appreciate that. So what we've been doing is down below the videos, we put a link to Amazon, and that is our Amazon Associates link. So if you go to Amazon to buy anything, like if you're going to buy a new pair of shoes or you're going to buy some pencils for the kids for school whenever it starts back next year, if it starts back next year, if you got to buy something on Amazon, if you click our link just before you go buy it, Amazon gives us the credit for sending you to Amazon to buy it. So we get an advertising royalty just because you click the link. You don't have to sign up for nothing. It doesn't raise your prices. It doesn't give us part of your money. It gives us part of Amazon's money. Isn't that cool? So that's a good way to stick it to the man, right? Stick it to the man. By the way, if you think I'm the man, then disregard all of this. But if you think Amazon's the man, click the link and it sends us some of their money. We're going to win in the end, right? So we appreciate everybody that's been doing that. We've had people buying all kinds of really cool stuff on there. We can't tell who you are or who's buying anything, but I had a gentleman buy some logic probes that clip onto the wires and send them to us. Or it may have been a gentlewoman. I don't know. I didn't say who sent them. And sent them to us. That was pretty cool. And then we've had people just buy all kinds of weird and strange stuff. We've got somebody out there keeps buying all kinds of computer equipment, like they're buying new hard drives and new RAM and new laptops and stuff like that. So we appreciate whoever that is out there doing that. And we've got people just, it looks like some people are buying things that they use around their home, and then some people, it seems, are maybe running businesses, and they're buying us things that they use in their business, like that must be some kind of computer repair person, because they're buying a ton of stuff, so they must fix machines every day or something. But we appreciate everybody that's been doing that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want to do that, just click the link below and check it out. Like I said, you don't have to sign up for anything. But leave your comments below, give us a thumbs up. Check out our other channel. It has nothing to do with arcade games or pinball machines if you're looking for something a little different. And we will see you on the next video. This is Stern's Stingray.